Welcome to the boot. I'm Brian.
And I'm Monica. Let's take a look at Haaland's Champions League wonder goal.
Okay, this is against Dortmund in yellow, and we have the arrow over Haaland, and Cancelo's crossing the ball in. We usually start with a bird's eye view, and then we'll break this down for you. But you can see an acrobatic move into the back of the net. Haaland is carrying the team on his back right now. So let's start after a few more quick looks at the wonder goal. We will break down the actual cross. Right here. Okay. So we've got Cancelo crossing the ball to Haaland, getting ready to, actually with the outside of his foot, which is kind of interesting, right?
It is.
So Haaland's knees are bent far more than the two Dortmund defenders, so that's his first advantage. Remember, we say this often, football's a game of inches, just like the ball passing the keeper there within an inch or two. And also, it's football IQ, and Haaland has remarkable IQ. Some people ask, hey, do the top players really process everything we're talking about? Because again, we're showing you far more than you will see on a slow motion video even. And that's why the best players and the coaches break it down still shot by still shot. So that's one thing Haaland does. He also makes sure he stays on side by tracking with the defender in front of him. But he's also shadowing that front defender as well. So he's right up behind him. It's harder for the defender to turn and look over his shoulder to see exactly when and where he's moving. And so the next frame here comes off Cancelo's boot. And so, let me back up just a tiny bit, sorry about that. Comes off right here, and Haaland's first step is actually towards goal, whereas the defender's first step is his fatal step. And he's actually stepping toward Cancelo, right? A little bit there. And his whole body is. And so that's the kiss of death. It's almost like a professional baseball outfielder misjudging a fly ball. This happens far more than we realize. It's something that hardly any announcer ever talks about, is reading the ball off the boot. And Haaland's really good at that, among many other things.
And I think we'll see in a few more frames how it really cost that defender. But on the plus side, I do like the defender on the ball getting his leg out in an attempt to block that. Really gets his leg up high.
Yeah, he does a good effort there. We see a lot of defenders that put their hands behind their back way too early, and they look like statues, and it makes it way too easy for folks like Haaland to score goals. All right, next frame here. The ball's coming quickly, so Haaland gets his foot up high. He knows that all he has to really do is redirect this ball. He really can't kick it traditionally anyway. Look at that.
Kind of looks like
athleticism.
a martial art movement.
Yeah, it does. Even the defender to his right is kind of imitating
getting in
Haaland.
On the action.
Yeah. But all Haaland has to do is redirect the ball. There's enough pace on this cross, and he's only like 3 or 4 yards from the keeper. See, the keeper's actually in good position here, but simply can't get his arms up in time. So it's kind of interesting. This is a classic shot where Haaland's foot is already higher than the defender's head. It's going to get even higher. And what I'm intrigued about is why Haaland didn't head this ball. So if you think he should have headed this ball, put that in the comments. Or if you agree with us that it may have been smarter for him to use his foot, then let us know in the comments too. I have a few thoughts here. One is, I think that he can process this so quickly that he didn't think it was going to be a dangerous kick. And so he wasn't going to draw a penalty. He was just far enough away from the keeper, and the keeper chose not to come out and charge it. And he also, remember, Haaland started this play between the two defenders. So neither one of them was between him and the goal, where if he raised his foot, he might kick the defender. So very smart. It also gives him much better line of sight. That ball's going to connect with his lead foot in the same line of sight as the keeper and the target goal. So if he's heading the ball, he has to turn his head toward the ball. He has to focus on the ball primarily, and most every player shuts their eyes for milliseconds when they make contact with the ball as well.
Football IQ is not just being able to break down all these things, but to do it in speed that's ahead of your counterparts.
Yeah. But I do think Haaland anticipates really well. Before Cancelo ever made that cross, Haaland was already envisioning, okay, I'm between two defenders. If he puts the ball anywhere close to me, I have a good opportunity. And here is a great shot of it actually hitting the side of his foot. Now he has a choice to try to score with the top of his boot, but most likely he would hit it over the bar because he wouldn't be able to bend his knee enough to get over the ball.
And we see that quite often.
Yeah, unfortunately, even at the highest level, far too many players sky the ball over the crossbar. Or he could actually use the studs of his boot, the bottom of his boot, but that is a lot less precise than what he did with the side of his foot. And again, he knew, hey, all I have to do is redirect this. And the keeper looks in great position, but just simply cannot get his hands up in time. It's so close, yet so far. So drink this up, eat it up. A couple more shots here because this is probably the Champions League goal of the season. And that's not one you practice on the training ground.
This is a great one to show that fatal mistake that you mentioned, the stepping out and not towards the defender or the passer, and not towards the goal.
And that's right, because look how the defender's leaning back in towards Haaland, almost trying to reach Haaland. Well, again, if he had stayed right on Haaland's left shoulder the whole time, he could have blocked Haaland's vision, but probably could have also headed the ball away or drawn a dangerous kick foul. But he really messed up with the initial read of the ball. So, yeah, that's the Haaland wonder goal.
Thanks so much for watching. If you think about it, would you please subscribe, like, comment, or share our videos. If you have any ideas about videos we can make in the future or how we can make this one better, let us know that too. Thanks a lot.